Hi everyone, and welcome to Wandering Soul Yoga with Sarah. If you're feeling stressed and that's why you've come to this video today, then you found the right place. We're going to move our bodies, we're going to breathe, and we're going to release any tension that we might be experiencing based on the days we've had so far today. So whenever you're ready, join me on the mat. We'll begin class today seated. So you can sit back on your heels, you can sit back on a block if you'd like between the heels, like hero's pose. Close the eyes and just feel the weight of the body sinking into the mat. You might notice throughout practice that the mind will get distracted and just wander to thinking about what happened before this, what will happen after this. But you'll take those as opportunities to return to your breath. Notice your inhales and your exhales. Maybe even setting an intention for your practice today. Maybe that intention is to leave whatever stress and tension you felt coming into this flow and leave it here, leave it on the mat. Gently opening the eyes. If you have a block beneath you, move the block out of the way. I'd recommend having two handy off to the side. Making your way onto all fours. So, let's see. I adjusted my necklace, we're good. Press into both hands evenly. Hips are over knees, shoulders are over wrists, or maybe the wrists are slightly in front of shoulders. Begin by placing the left foot back. So you're coming onto the toes of the back foot, the legs extended long. If you'd like, you can stay here, or maybe play with lifting the back leg any amount. You engage your glutes, making sure that you're not opening up in the hips. The hips feel level. Maybe you check with one hand that the pelvis feels level here. Flexing those back toes. Option to then extend the right arm long, palm faces in towards the mat. Belly button draws into spine. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhaling, reach through the fingers, reach through the heel of the foot. Exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, setting everything back down on the mat. Maybe you wag side to side, stretch out the spine. We'll do the other side. Extend your right leg long, coming up onto the toes of your right foot. You can stay here, or if you'd like, lift the back leg, making sure you're not going higher than the hips here, and that the hips are still level. Maybe check it out with the left hand. Pressing into your right hand, left arm extends long. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Reaching out. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Release everything back down to the mat. Press the left hand into the mat. Inhale. Right arm sweeps out and up. Exhale. Thread the needle. So sweeping that right hand underneath the body, lowering maybe onto the right shoulder. And notice if hips are over knees still. If not, maybe come back out of this, readjust. Option to stay here or inch the left fingers out long. Staying up on the fingertips, breathing here. Notice if you're feeling any stretch in between the shoulder blades or on the outer right arm. Big belly breaths. Exhale. Your next inhale. If the hand was out long, bring your left palm back, pressing up. Back to all fours. Right hand plants, left arm opens up. And exhale. Thread the needle. You can keep the right hand in here, or maybe extend it long. Noticing the stretch that you experience on this side. Is it any different? With your next exhale, if the right hand was extended long, bring it back in towards the face, pressing up onto all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Maybe keep those knees super bent for this first down dog. Pressing really evenly into all your fingers of your hands, protecting your wrists. And then make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Taking the hands clasping behind the back. Option to have a pretty loose clasp here, or draw the palms in together. You'll know if whichever hand placement's better for you once we inhale here and exhale, folding in. Keep those knees as bent as they need. Head hangs heavy. And then release the hands any amount off the low back. And this is when you'll notice, if your arms feel like they're experiencing almost like a block, there's no further they can go, that's when I invite you to loosen the grip of the hands, or maybe even take a strap or towel in between the hands. If the breath is feeling constricted, you can also walk the legs out wide, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, drawing the hands, if they released off the low back to the low back. And release your grip. Keeping that deep bend in the knees. Rolling slowly up, vertebra by vertebra, to standing. Shoulders and head are the last to arrive. If you have a wide-legged stance here, maybe drawing the feet more hips width at this point in time. 2 fists in between the feet is a good gauge. Arms come down alongside your body. If you'd like, you can draw the shoulders up, back, and down. Exhaling, releasing any tension there. With an inhale, arms sweep out and up, gaze up. Exhaling, hands come through heart center. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, hands plant on the mat, stepping back, plank pose. Breathing in plank, inhale. Tuck the tailbone, exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward dog. Maybe knees are super bent here. From down dog, inhale, right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands, taking as many little steps as you need to. Left hand can plant on the mat or plant on your block. Lower your back knee. And then inhale, right arm reaches up and out, twisting to the right. Gaze up at your hand if that feels good, or down to the mat. Also, option to take your right hand to the low back really helps you open the chest into the twist without having the arm extended. Inhaling here. Exhale, taking the hands around the left foot, maybe grabbing your other block, if that would feel good on the hands. You can stay here, or inhaling, hands to thigh, heart center, or reaching up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. One more inhale. Exhale, hands back down to blocks or to mat. I'll show you what this would look like with our blocks. Tuck the back toes, lift your knee. Step back into plank pose. Inhale in plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe at this point you get rid of your blocks, or maybe you're like, this is an interesting way to get into my shoulders. I like this. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee, untuck your toes. I'll stick here with the blocks. You know, you can have right hand planted on your block or on your mat. Inhale, left arm opens up into a twist. Same options as before. Left hand can come to low back, to sacrum. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands frame your front foot. Option to stay here, hands on blocks, hands on mat, maybe even fingertips. Or inhale, hands to your thigh, heart center, or reaching up to the ceiling. Anjaneyasana, now on the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, hands frame your front foot. This time, I'm going to move my blocks out of my way, over to the side of my mat. Hands plant, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, step back, plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees, knees wide, toes touch. Sink your hips back, child's pose. Balasana. Use this moment of the forehead connecting with the mat to send the breath in between the eyebrows, and notice if there's any tension there, you can send the breath towards with an inhale. Exhale, release. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Making your way back to down dog. Hips high. Press into all 10 fingers. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Pivot the back left heel to the mat. Inhale, rising, warrior two. So looking down, noticing if you can see the right toe in front of your right knee. You can open up to train track alignment of the feet if that would give you just a little more room here to open up the chest. Gaze over your right fingers. Inhale. Exhale. With your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand reaches to the ceiling. Keep the bend in that right knee. Exhale. Coming back, warrior two. Straighten your front leg. We'll move in a triangle. Inhale here. Soft bend in your right knee. Reach out and over. Exhale. Hand reaches for the shin or ankle. Maybe a block. With your next inhale, bending back in to your front knee, coming through warrior two, and then paralleling the feet, keeping the feet at a wide stance here. moving into wide-legged forward fold. A good gauge is if your wrists feel like they're aligning with your heels, aligning with your ankles. That's a great gauge. If you'd like a shorter stance, by all means, totally fine. So, feet are parallel, maybe slightly pigeon toe the toes in. Up to you. Inhale, hands to hips. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, folding over. Maybe bringing the hands down onto the mat. Just noticing where they land. Maybe you're up here. In that case, hands to blocks. You're really keeping that alignment with the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you fold in a little deeper. Hands walk between the feet. Really looking for the shoulder blades to draw up, back, and down, away from the ears. And then hands to generally be under elbows. So you've got a nice 90-degree angle with your arms. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. With your next inhale, walk hands underneath shoulders. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, press into the feet. Coming back up to standing. This time, point the left toes towards the back of the mat. Triangle pose on the left side. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, left hand comes along the shin or down to the mat or to a block. Grounding through that back foot, noticing how it feels on the mat, how the weight of gravity really affects that back foot. Inhale, bending into the front knee. Reverse your warrior. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Keep that bend in the front knee. Exhale, warrior two. Again, shoulder blades draw away from the ears. Notice, can you see your front left toe? Well, now your front. One more inhale here. And exhale, hands rainbow down to the mat. Stepping back into plank pose. Tuck your tailbone. Engage your core. Inhale here. And exhale, lower the knees. Toes touch. Balasana, child's pose. Noticing your breath here. Has it changed? Has it deepened? Is it living in your belly or your chest? Or do you feel it in your shoulders or your feet? There's really no right answer here. We're just noticing the signals and cues of our bodies. With your next inhale, drawing yourself back up to seated. We'll be doing firelark pose. This is why I asked you to have two blocks handy. So, this is a really deep and intense hip opener. It's where I hold a lot of tension and really gets into IT bands and hips. So, we'll start by having left shin parallel with top of the mat, side of the mat, wherever you are on your mat. And then right foot flexed sits on top of left knee. So it really kind of weights things down. And then notice, is your right knee making contact with your left foot? Mine is not. So what I'm going to do is take a little block in between, maybe two, really depends on you and your hips. Same goes for this left side. If you find that this left knee is really hovering 6-8 inches above the ground, wedge a little block in there and sit tall. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you're experiencing any knee pain or discomfort here, know you can move out of this posture, maybe try figure 4, maybe try pigeon, or just sit and notice your breath. Option also to extend the arms long out in front of you. Really up to you. We'll be here just for 3 more breaths. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. Gently making your way out of this pose. So move any blocks out of your way that you were using. We'll switch to the other side. Right shin flush with the side or top of your mat. Flex both feet, protecting your knees. Left foot stacks on top of right knee. Firelog pose. Taking your handy blocks underneath the knee and the foot. If, like me, you have a big gap between. Again, our tools in this practice are our props. So look to your props for support, for deepening into postures that you may or may not be able to access otherwise. I wouldn't do firelog pose without blocks, so it works for me, and I invite you to try as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you extend the hands long, really folding, bowing into the legs, or stay seated. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. That's 1. That's 2. And 3. Removing any blocks and setting them off to the side. Kind of extricating yourself from that pose. Soles of the feet draw together. Baddha Konasana. Butterfly, if you will. Also a great opportunity to put blocks under the knees, particularly if they're sitting up here, or if you notice you're rounding into the spine and feel like you can't sit up. You can sit up on a blanket. You can take blocks underneath the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, folding over. Rounding the spine is totally fine here. Just allow yourself to gaze at your feet. Maybe give your feet a little love, a little rub. With your next inhale, coming back up through center, using the hands, draw the knees in, sitting cross-legged. Maybe you sit up on a blanket here and that feels good to elevate the hips above the knees. Invite your eyes to close. Do one final round of breath together. Inhaling deeply through the nose, deepest breath you've taken all practice. And exhale out the mouth. Noticing the weight of the body on the mat. Noticing your thoughts. They've quieted at all as you've moved your body, as you've noticed your breath. Draw hands heart center. Bow in. Thank you for your time and your practice today. Namaste. So thanks again for practicing with me in Wandering Soul Yoga. This was our de-stress yoga flow. Like and subscribe for more content every week.